Thanks for watching AM Northwest this morning. Our next guest was bedridden with Lyme disease before she healed herself with food and the recipes in her cookbook. She's here now with great ideas for our Thanksgiving feast. We welcome back the author of The Wandering Palate, Erica Schlick. Good to have you with us again,
Thank you.
Erica.
I'm happy to be back on the show.
Okay, this looks fabulous. And these are all new ideas on old side dishes.
Absolutely. These are a lot of recipes that you can eat on a weeknight, make it easy, or these are also going to be perfect Thanksgiving Day recipes.
Right.
A lot of times vegetables for Thanksgiving are very heavy and hearty, so this is something to kind of lighten up the meal and have you feeling refreshed and
a little bit healthier.
Dessert. Exactly.
Healthier. So which one did you want to start? Because we have a beet salad, it looks like, and a pumpkin pie, squash
That's right.
pie.
This is a paleo pumpkin pie.
Okay.
So it's grain-free, refined sugar-free, dairy-free, and delicious. You don't miss anything with it. But I'm going to be showing you how to make the beet and grapefruit salad. So this is one of my favorite recipes out of the cookbook. It's really hearty. You can eat it just as a meal on its own or, you know, as a side.
Sure.
So we're going to start with our capers over here. So
you have capers?
I have capers, and I like to pan fry them a little bit, give them a nice little crisp. So
does that release more flavor?
It just makes them kind of crispy to give the texture of the salad a little bit of a crunch. So I'm going to go ahead and let those cook here. And we've got our beets that are already prepared. And so I've got some grapefruits that have been segmented. So what did you do to prepare them? So you can do it a couple different ways. You can either roast them, you can boil them, or you can actually cook them in your Instapot, which I have a recipe for in my book. And that cooks them super quickly. You don't even have to worry about them. You just put them in there, basically steam them, peel them, and chop them up. So it's a very easy way to cook them.
I've never cooked beets.
I know, they can be a little intimidating because they take a while to cook, but they're generally pretty easy. So we've got our beets that are already chopped and cooked, and then we've got some fresh grapefruits that have been segmented. So you can do, the recipe calls for about 2 to 3 grapefruits, but you can do a little bit more depending on the size of the salad you're making. And then we've got some pistachios. And again,
yes, love those.
This is optional if you're avoiding nuts, but I like it just because it gives it a really nice color, especially if you're going to be doing this for a celebration like Thanksgiving, and also just gives it a nice flavor and crunch.
And pistachios are healthy too,
Absolutely,
aren't they?
They're really great for you.
Okay.
And then we've got some capers. I've already got these pan fried, but these are a little crispy to give it kind of that salty and brine flavor.
So did you saute them in oil?
I did. I cook them in avocado oil just because avocado oil has a higher smoke point, so it generally is a better avocado or oil to cook with. And it's really light, so it's not going to overpower the flavor. And we'll put a little bit of sea salt on here as well. And then our dressing is really what brings us all together. So this is a lavender citrus dressing. So we've got some olive oil already because I do like olive oil for dressings, just not necessarily cooking with. And we've got some grapefruit juice. So this is fresh grapefruit. And you can actually get most of the juice that you need for it out of the ones you segment. You just squeeze them.
That makes sense.
So there's not really a lot of waste with those. We've got some tangerine juice.
Tangerine juice, okay.
And we've got 1 lemon. So we've got juice from 1 lemon.
And are you making sure you use all fresh ingredients?
Absolutely. I always try to use fresh herbs, fresh ingredients when possible. So that's some fresh thyme. And we've got some lavender. That's the one that's a little tricky to get fresh year round. So it's okay to use dried if you have to, but we can go ahead and add that in. And then we've got some sea salt as well. So I like to not emulsify my dressings. I usually like to just whisk them just to keep them a little bit lighter.
And why sea salt versus I don't know, kosher salt?
You can use whatever salt you like. I like the chunkiness of a sea salt.
Yeah, I do too.
So, you know, it usually has a little bit more mineral value too. So you can whisk that together, and it comes together super easy, as you can see, and you can dress it as much as you want to. You can keep it on the side. I've even made the salad and not been able to finish it because it's so filling, and even with the dressing on it, it keeps until the next day.
When you learned you had Lyme disease, what was it that you changed so that you feel better?
Diet was one of the first things I changed. Some of my other diagnoses were actually celiac disease and autoimmune conditions.
All of those things?
All of those in addition to Lyme.
Wow.
So diet was one of the first things I changed, and I immediately noticed I started feeling better. I had
What did you eliminate?
Mostly gluten was the first one because of the celiac diagnosis. And I did a gluten-free diet for a bit, and I just felt kind of tired and spacey all the time, so I went to a paleo diet is what my doctor recommended, and I cut out grains, I cut out sugars, I cut out dairy, I cut out a lot of foods that cause inflammation.
Is there anything left,
There
Erica?
is. Look at all of this.
Okay. That's
you can eat
lot.
like a queen, and you can still take all that stuff out and feel good.
Wow, and you're feeling great now.
I feel great now. I've been in remission for a couple of years now. So
that's great.
It's enabled me to make my book. My book is really a celebration that you can recover from a chronic illness and do good things in the world again. So
and you have really great energy now?
I feel awesome. I work out every day, I eat healthy, and I stay healthy. So
that's fantastic. Okay, so here's the dressing.
Okay, so let's go ahead and put some of it on here. And like I said, you can put as much or as little as you want. I do recommend recommend doing a dish that has a little bit of a rim because, you know,
it might
between
slide
the
right
beet
off.
juice and between the dressing, you might lose half your salad.
That is a very good point.
If you want to keep your table clean.
Sometimes you have to consider dishware.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So we'll start with that, and we can always add a little more if you like it.
You know what the thing is, I used to dislike beets, but I think that's a kid thing, and now as you've gotten older, they taste pretty good.
You grow out of it, yeah. And I think a lot of times people are intimidated with how to cook them.
Well,
so
that's the other thing.
Having easy ways to cook them, especially with the Instapot or just throwing them in your oven is very easy.
So we've got this.
Got a little bite for you to taste.
Gotta try that. And then you've got the,
no.
That's all right, I'll use this fork. You've got the pie, so tell me about the pie while I take a taste of the salad.
So the pie is a paleo pumpkin pie, so it's an almond flour crust. It's very easy to make. It only has 4 ingredients. And then the pie itself can be made dairy-free, refined sugar-free. It uses maple sugar in it. Comes together really quickly. Honestly, the crust probably takes more time than the pie itself.
Oh, really?
And it's a delicious pie. You can use the crust for any other pie you want to use this holiday season, too.
This is, the beet salad is really good.
It's tasty,
and
isn't
it's
it?
light. Yeah, I would have never thought grapefruit with beets.
It gives it a nice refreshing flavor with the beets because the beets are so hearty, but the citrus really brings it all together.
So I missed, because I was so busy stuffing my face. How did you make the crust?
It was an almond flour crust.
Almond flour, okay.
And so it comes together, you just press it into your pie dish, and then you bake it, and then you fill the filling in it.
Oh, that's good. That's really good.
You wouldn't even miss all the things, right?
No.
So you can live.
That is better than pumpkin pie, I think.
Full of all the sugar and all the other bad ingredients that they typically put in them.
No, that's really good.
So yeah,
you also had a side dish of beans. Tell me quickly about that.
So this is another great side dish that you can use on Thanksgiving. You know, like I said, a lot of times the vegetables are so heavy and hearty that this is something light. Adding in some almonds can really give it a nice crunch and texture. So you have a variety of different things, you know.
Do you have a dressing on that as well?
I usually just saute that in some butter or coconut oil with some seasoning, some garlic, some onion, some sea salt, and keep it really simple. Usually if you're using high quality organic vegetables, the flavor of the food really starts to come through when you keep things simple, and you know you enjoy that instead of having to mask it with a lot of different flavors.
Oh, that's fantastic. That looks really good. Again, the book is called Wandering Palate. Wandering, not wondering, Wandering Palate. Erica Schlick, thank you so much.
Thank
Good to see you again.
Yeah, thank you so much.